In this podcast episode, the host interviews Madam Joyce, an internet entertainer and content creator. The conversation covers a range of topics, including love, celebrity divorces, true love, social media, money, and mental health. The episode begins with a discussion about true love, prompted by recent celebrity divorces. Madam Joyce expresses her belief that true love exists but emphasizes that it requires effort and work. She suggests that many people enter relationships without fully understanding the commitment and effort required to make them successful. The conversation then shifts to the topic of love and relationships in general. Madam Joyce reveals that she falls in love easily and quickly, often declaring her love for someone after just one date. She acknowledges that this can lead to disappointment and heartbreak, but she remains hopeful that she will find true love. The discussion then turns to the influence of social media on relationships and self-perception. Madam Joyce explains that she strives to create an authentic space on her podcast where people can be themselves and share their vulnerabilities. She believes that social media often promotes a fake and plastic image, and she wants to counteract that by being open and honest. The conversation then delves into the topic of money and spending habits. Madam Joyce admits that she is a spender rather than a saver, although she acknowledges the importance of saving. She explains that she enjoys the finer things in life and has been working on overcoming her fear of spending money. The discussion then touches on the housing market and the challenges of renting in London. Madam Joyce reveals that she currently rents a place in London and has 5 houses that she rents out. She emphasizes the importance of weathering the ups and downs of the housing market and making wise financial decisions. The conversation then shifts to the topic of mental health, specifically social anxiety. Madam Joyce opens up about her struggles with social anxiety and the negative thoughts and paranoia that often accompany it. She explains that she has been working on addressing these issues through therapy and self-reflection. The conversation then shifts to the topic of money. Madam Joyce talks about her spending habits and reveals that she spends a lot on food and experiences related to food. She enjoys trying new restaurants and cuisines, often influenced by reviews she sees on TikTok. She also mentions that she spends a significant amount on her appearance, including getting her hair done and buying new clothes. She admits to having a toxic trait of only wearing clothes once, even designer items, and discusses the idea of renting out her clothes or using platforms like Depop. The discussion then moves on to the pressure of being a funny girl and the need to entertain others. Madam Joyce shares that she used to feel the need to be liked and would try to make people laugh to gain acceptance. However, she has learned to be more secure in herself and not feel the constant pressure to entertain. She emphasizes the importance of having friends who accept and love you for who you are, outside of the public persona. The conversation touches on the topic of virginity, with Madam Joyce sharing her own experience of losing her virginity at 15 to her boyfriend at the time. She describes it as a positive experience and appreciates that it was with someone she cared about. She also mentions that she is still on good terms with her ex-boyfriend and values the way she lost her virginity. The podcast then delves into a discussion about the TV show Top Boy. Madam Joyce expresses her frustration with the realism of the show and how it portrays the struggles and issues faced in the Black community. She believes it is important for people outside of the community to see these realities and understand the challenges faced by marginalized groups. She also discusses the importance of delusion as a coping mechanism and how it helped her navigate difficult times in her life. The episode continues with a discussion about the importance of facing reality while also finding ways to cope and maintain a positive mindset. Madam Joyce shares her own experiences of financial struggles and how she used delusion to stay positive and motivated. She encourages listeners to find their own coping mechanisms and not be too hard on themselves. The conversation continues with a discussion about OnlyFans, a platform where content creators can monetize their work, particularly in the adult entertainment industry. Madam Joyce shares her thoughts on the platform, highlighting the empowerment it provides to individuals who can take control of their own content and earnings. She emphasizes the importance of consent and agency in this industry, stating that individuals should have the freedom to choose what they do with their bodies. The conversation then shifts to the topic of money and financial independence. Madam Joyce emphasizes the need for women to be financially independent and not rely on men for financial support. She encourages women to pursue their own careers and build their own wealth. She also discusses the importance of financial literacy in education, urging young women to educate themselves about money management and investments. The discussion then moves on to the challenges faced by modern women in the dating world. Madam Joyce shares her experiences and observations, highlighting the importance of setting boundaries and not settling for less than what one deserves. She encourages women to prioritize their own happiness and well-being in relationships and not to compromise their values. Madam Joyce also addresses the issue of ghosting, where someone suddenly stops responding or communicating in a relationship. She advises individuals to not take it personally and to move on, as it is a reflection of the other person's character and not their own worth. The conversation then delves into the topic of mental health and self-care. Madam Joyce emphasizes the importance of taking care of one's mental well-being and seeking professional help when needed. She encourages individuals to prioritize self-care activities and to surround themselves with positive influences. The discussion then turns to the topic of housing and eviction. Madam Joyce provides information about the legal process of eviction, stating that landlords cannot simply throw tenants out without following proper procedures. She mentions that landlords must wait 3 months and take tenants to court before evicting them. She also mentions the importance of seeking counseling and legal advice in such situations. Towards the end of the podcast, Madam Joyce talks about her own podcast called Cocktails and Takeaways, and announces its return in September. She also shares her social media handles and invites listeners to connect with her. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.